leader on set.
He's really humble. He's really sweet. Completely charming. Just smooth. He's a total ladies' man.
The girls just eat him up.
He's very wise. He's very funny.
He's my boy.
I'm Aubrey Graham, and this is my life, unscripted. What's up, everybody? You're chilling with me, Aubrey Graham. If you guys want to go for a ride, we can go for a ride. This is my baby, I guess. It's a 2004 Acura TSX. It's a nice first car for like a teenager, I guess, as opposed to a Mercedes or BMW. I think that's pretentious, personally. But hey, if you have the money to buy it, then feel free. Enough about the car. Let's go inside. Hey, Bubby. Yeah. Me and my grandma have a little thing where my mom doesn't let her eat chocolate, but my grandma slides me a little extra cheddar on the side, and I make sure she gets her daily chocolate dose.
That's my grandson.
This is the living room, and it's nice and elegant, and I kind of leave this alone. It's too much for me. This is our dining room, and here's my mother making notes as usual on probably some...
Transposing my to-do list.
Yeah, exactly. Through here, this is our wonderful fridge with stock because, you know, there were people over today, so we had to get some food. Now we're gonna check out my space. This is my space. This is where I live. And through here, this is my living room. I like a chilling vibe. That's my favorite thing about this basement. I made this table. Got Barry White, Frank Sinatra, Notorious B.I.G. Everybody around this table has basically inspired me to get into music, particularly Pharrell. He's like one of my idols. So this is where I sit and sometimes write. And actually, we missed a very important thing. I write songs, and that's what I like. I do music. These are full from front to back of just songs, pages and pages of lyrics and ideas. Something that I'll probably never use, but I mean, because they're old, I just like to keep them around for nostalgia purposes. And this is my dad, and him and my uncle worked with Al Green. That's basically why I do it. I mean, he taught me everything. So, thank you, Dad. I don't get to see you that often, but, you know, my love is always with you. And then through here, this is my comfort area. As you can see, I recently did laundry. This is actually a very nice couch. And in here, I have more stuff. Some sweaters and t-shirts, some blazers, jackets, and the shoes are a big thing. I got them from bottom to top. You know, at the end of the day, that's material possessions. That's not what I'm about. This is what I'm about. I'm a music fanatic, so I got some fads from Marvin Gaye, Kanye West, Big L, Jay-Z, all the Jay-Z albums. I don't know, we could go on for days. I got the studio mic set to my height so I can just flow a little if need be. I've been a mess since every girl I left went and got a new man, but I'm the new version of Fresh Prince. And the bands got bumped for real. I switch wifey every season like Uncle Phil. And then the chorus drops. So that was a little verse I wrote. Little something, zum. Yeah, I got some stuff around here. I got Andrea's first single. Yeah, this CD, which is pretty good. It's Chaos. Toronto artist, supports the Toronto artists. And I got this the other night. It's Allie. It's one of my best friends on Radio Free Roscoe, which is a great show, by the way. Feel free to tune in. This is one of the nicest letters I've ever received from anybody. He feels that I could complete the trifecta of the greatest African-American actors of all time, who are Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington. And he says the third edition would be Aubrey Graham. Jason, I thank you, man. On the real, I never got a chance to respond to you. I hope you're watching this. Thank you so much. I appreciate it with all my heart. And just know that I keep it close. And I will keep this with me for the rest of my life. No matter where I go, you're the one that said it. So if it happens, man. You called it. And this is my room. This is where I live. This is the life I'm living right now.
We always thought that there was something very different about this kid. When we had a piano at home and I would come home with my nursery rhymes, Aubrey at 3 years old would take the lyrics and he would change them. I realized that other kids just didn't do that. Being an only child, I always had him in a lot of activities, whether it was day camp or whether it was group activities, hockey, a lot of things where you'd have to learn to be a team player.
I was in this program called YPT, which is Young People's Theater, but it was really just a bunch of young kids acting really hyper, and then like we'd throw on masks and call it a play, whatever. I guess the parents thought it was cool.
When Aubrey was about 5 years old, I took him to this agent, and she really liked Aubrey, so he did print work, and which is catalogs, and he did a couple of commercials.
Had you been there tonight?
Les Mis was the first thing that people actually liked, I guess, and people actually came to see and clapped for a good reason. They're not like, yeah, it's over. Like, good, let's go.
Apparently they'd been auditioning for Degrassi for a whole year or something at all these schools in the city. So it was the last 3 weeks of auditions and he got in.
I was gonna wait till tomorrow. I think you might need this now. Happy anniversary.
I called Aubrey and I asked him to come home because we lived right across the road from the school at the time. So he came home and then I told him and he, of course, went crazy. He couldn't believe it.
Easy, man. You're looking at him. Degrassi Panthers, Jimmy Brooks is on the prowl.
Music and acting are the only things that I can commit to on a regular basis, no matter what.
From Toronto to Tennessee, a town to stay down. OKKK. New Drake album coming soon. You see that? You like that?
That was my grandmother shamelessly promoting the new Drake album, and that's my middle name and also my performance name, so thank you, Bubby.
This is the guy you want to follow, Unscripted.
Appreciate that, man.
Completely unscripted.
That touches me right here.
What was that kid's name again?
Degrassi Unscripted. What's going on?
Aubrey is a total character. You see him strut into the building and, you know, his walk, his demeanor announces that he's here.
And this is where a lot of hustling goes down with me and Jake Epstein, Shane Kipple. I try to, I take people's money right here at the pool table. I'm a shark.
When you see him, you're like, this kid just has it together, and you know he's going to go places.
It's a tutoring room. I don't really know what's going on. Oh, this is a perfect example of how much we work. This is great. This is Degrassi Unscripted. This is unscripted. This is why it's not planned at all.
I think it must be a little bit of a facade, I hope. Otherwise, that's a little nerve-wracking to have that sort of self-possession at that age.
Dressing rooms, Cassie Steele, and wow, there's a lot of girls here. This is my dressing room. There's a lot of girls here today.
Jimmy was really just a good guy. He was just like, you know, a sport playing, sort of rich, good guy. And he wasn't, and I'd say the first season he wasn't much more than that. But what we realized is that we had an amazing actor in Aubrey who was like so charismatic and could do a lot more than just that. He didn't just have to be the stereotypical jock guy.
We knew that Jimmy and Spinner were good from season one. They had a few moments together, and we knew, in fact, they had an episode or two together. We knew they had a chemistry. So going into season two, we really aimed to expand on that and really work with it.
Like, let's say I do the dancing, you do the music. You don't want me to break?
I'll tell you exactly where, for me, Jimmy and Spinner totally became it.
You want the spotlight all to yourself.
They're fighting over, I think, a breakdancing competition.
Spin, you move like a wounded polar bear, buddy.
Spinner's like, oh, polar bears are white. I get it. This is a racism thing.
I'm not saying you can't dance because you're white. I'm saying you can't dance because you suck.
It was just magic, and Aubrey's timing on it is just beautiful.
You can't handle the truth! Out of anybody on set, I'd say that me and Shane definitely had the chemistry.
There's not one thing I don't like about him. We've never had any issue. We've always been completely open with each other.
Stink up the change room. Shrimp and B.O.
There's way too many jokes going on. We're completely unprofessional. It's ridiculous. But it comes across on screen as natural.
I don't know. There's something about him that you'll just fall in love with.
He's got charm just trailing behind him on the floor, and you can see that on screen, but I think he's got even more in real life, which is scary.
One of the first scenes we ever had together at the very beginning, like in first season, was where we had to kiss, and I remember it was so awkward. I think as a kisser, Aubrey's an 11 out of 10, even though it was like 2 seconds long.
You guys need anything, keep up your energy or fluids.
I always enjoy the kissing scenes. I'm like, yeah, I get to get a little action in, and it just comes with the job, man. I love it. It's great.
He comes off very smooth and very suave, which he is. But he is hysterical. He has such a killer sense of humor.
I'm not a ball player. I'm already out of breath.
You've seen the dingy living conditions that we maintain upstairs. Now, this is like corporate Canada here. This is like this is the plush. This is the lavish, the luxurious offices of those that work in production. I like to bother the important people here because that's the most fun. What okay?
Oh, what's up?
What up, G?
Pop back here, man. Let me drop some science. I'm Aubrey. Finest actor in the cast. Best actor in the world. This is a dude I originally wanted to cast in Jersey Girl. Would have worked out a lot better than it worked out for us. I said, get me Aubrey because he's awesome. And they said, sorry, he's going to be crippled on Degrassi.
Yeah.
And then that was it. Had no chance. So this is the guy you want to follow. Unscripted.
Appreciate that, man.
Completely unscripted.
That touches me right here.
What was that kid's name again?
Everybody here is real cool. I just wanted to pretend like we have some like big people in suits and can be. I mean, look, like really and truly.
I got a stress buster because I got to work with him. Can you believe this?
You're losing. You're losing. Anyways, let's get back to work. Okay. What's that? What is this about? Hold on, Robertson, what's up? All right, we're done.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be just fine. It's all right. I'm here and I'm not going anywhere, okay?
You're all right. After 3 seasons of seeing what an amazing job Aubrey could do, we realized that in 4th season he needed his own big storyline.
When I was first told that I was going to be shot, one of the initial questions I had was, do I die?
He, as a character, was all about his body and athletics, and when you take that away from a character and make them reconceive themselves, it's something very interesting to watch on screen.
Is that real?
He pretended to be my friend.
At our premiere in Toronto, when we aired that episode, I was sitting next to Aubrey, and I was watching him and very believably get shot.
I was on the edge of my seat. Everyone was on the edge of their seat.
I remember I just put my arms around him, and I was just it was very scary.
That had me bawling. I thought that the scene in the hallway where he gets shot was just so beautifully done, and he's a really, really impressive actor.
Your nurse called. Furious.
So what are you going to do? Ground me? I saw it as a challenge, so I did my research, and I actually took a kid and that was in a wheelchair. I took him out and tried to understand how difficult it is to be mobile and live life as if nothing was wrong.
This is the wheelchair that I use on set. Titanium, it's real light. The gloves, so I don't get, rough skin. I like to keep it real baby soft.
You start at down bottom, at the bottom of the barrel, feeling-wise, emotionally.
It's been a challenge to claim this as my own.
And then you rise up, slowly but surely, because you realize that I could sit here and I could, not live my life, and I could live in sorrow, or I could just accept the cards I've been dealt.
To become Mr. Mobility, as they call me on set, I've had to put in some work, so I'll show you what I can do.
The great thing about Aubrey is that Aubrey never plays it like a victim. And Aubrey, I don't think ever could play it as a victim, because Aubrey is way too full of life, and he's put that into Jimmy very smartly, and that's been a very great decision on Aubrey's part to portray Jimmy in the wheelchair with a zest for life.
We have to work the wheels, but you can just turn and miss things, and, you learn how to use it. It becomes natural. I'm always, moving and pumping, and, so maybe one day I'll be big, strong, be like Vin Diesel style, But now I'm just me.
I didn't get a haircut today. So this is what happens when you don't get your hair lined up.
I don't care. On his roll, yeah.
So right now we are shooting the prom scene, and usually prom happens June, July, summertime basically. And it's clearly winter out here. As you can see, I got my park on. So keep your eyes open. Watch for it. Okay, so you've officially seen my life. You've been hanging out with me, but you can't go anywhere just yet, because coming up next, we have a sneak peek at a new, never-before-seen Degrassi episode. So stay tuned. Hey. Listen, about the hospital, wheels. Chair. It's a wheelchair. Gawk all you want. It's not going away. Dude, I would have come, but things got crazy busy around here, and you know how it is. You know what? I understand. I probably should have been there for you instead of at the hospital getting a bullet removed from my spine. My bad. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't know what to say or how to act. I suck. Sit down. At this angle, I can see up your nose. I'm doing a mall tour in Vancouver, actually. They have pictures from Calgary. All the mall tours. And we're going on the Vicky Gabbro show. Apparently, I depart from Toronto at 7 a.m. and arrive in Vancouver at 8:59 a.m. But apparently here, I depart Vancouver at 4 p.m. and arrive at 11:29 p.m. Is the time different in Vancouver? Okay, 3 hours. See? I just wanted to know if I was right. You can leave that part out. The Aubrey can. Make sure I look alright. What's going on? It's the only way I can feel myself, really. What's that? What's under there? Oh, last day in Vancouver, going to Richmond Center Mall. I'm gonna have a lot of fans there. I'm gonna show you what it's all about.
We'll be there in like 2 minutes.
We're really happy you guys came out today, and we hope that we can get to sign everything you brought, and we hope that we can have a little fun, okay?
How do the Vancouver fans compare to all the fans across the world have?
These fans are crazy. They're screaming and having fun.
We're We're in Vancouver right now at the Vicky Gabrielle show at CTV. I actually feel really bad. I don't quite know who Vicky Gabrielle is.
This is from Mount Everest.
Oh, really?
It's true.
Are you giving it?
What? Sure.
I mean, what?
Anyway, see you later. I get it.
Now I have to get this under control. This is completely absurd.
You guys are the top of show, which means that Vicky will do a little show intro by herself. She'll just be her on camera. My guests today, oh, it's so fun around here, are from the CTV teen drama Degrassi. The audience will applaud, and then she'll come back in and intro you. The show follows the kids of Degrassi High School and the issues facing their lives. And then away we go. First up, the actors from CTV's hit show Degrassi, The Next Generation. I hope you can keep up with them. Who's best friends around here? You two are best friends?
Yeah, we play best friends on the show.
And you've recently recovered from being shot, it appears.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Which was very challenging.
What will you do next year?
I'm working on music all this year. I'm working with several labels and producers and whatnot, and I might be going out to New York next month and Tennessee.
Oh, God, there'll be no talking to him then. You go to New York. Thank you. It was so nice to meet you.
I had the best time in the world. Like, those girls are just crazy.
Check. Look, she never had a choice of dating. Nowadays, a milkshake's in a blender and the boys are waiting.
I keep my music pretty under wraps. Like, I mean, this is going to be a shocker to people that I work with on set because nobody really knows I do anything. I really keep it to myself. But it's ironic because it's probably the biggest part of my life. I mean, I've become essentially obsessed with music.
All right, run it back to before that. Go back to the beginning.
It comes from life. It comes from like the 18-hour drives to Tennessee with my dad and listening to like old soul cassettes. What I write about now is just all life. I mean, I've been through a lot of things in my life between my family, my relationships, people I've met, things I've done and seen.
So you come in there, right? Then you're back in right now.
Crisscrossed over, I'm that miggity Mac. Artists up north either can't sign or miss. Which justifies why most just can't shine the wrists. Searching all in the fridge, you can't find the Chris. Cause some of them try to rhyme, but they can't rhyme like this. Oh, some of them try to rhyme, but they can't rhyme like this. Some of them try to rhyme, but they can't rhyme like this. I'm the Yameka Okafor, the Oprah always started it.
But you were in.
I was just going. That's just old crisscross. Like, I was just taking it back. I just figured if we go see Clark, I just wrote that verse. They can't rhyme like this. Remember that? Some of them try to rhyme, but they can't rhyme like this. Miggity. You remember that? Crisscross to make a jump.
One thing that actually drew me personally into him is that he's a student of hip-hop.
I was thinking about that the other night. Like, no one's messed with that.
He's not just coming into it in a way where I think that I can, or I'm the new thing. It's like, where was it before me? And that's rare with new MCs.
If you tell me that my acting and the fact that I'm rapping is stupid, and then you tell me to my face and I happen to lose it, I'm too cool, new school, it's back to the rubric. I'm what the Beatles wanted to see happen in music.
I guess my goal is to get out there and expose myself to the world and kind of show people what I'm capable of.
All my single mothers need to get a babysitter. Pick and choose what you wear in the night. Girl, guess what?
I look at Degrassi as kind of a stepping stone because I definitely don't want it to be where I end. You can either go too far or you could just stop dead where you're at, or you can get to this point in between that's like perfect. And I'm approaching that. I'm not there yet.